This is the second series of Mike Bartlett's drama. I'm just trying to think, like, soapy
psychological thriller.
I don't know. Would you say?
Yeah, I think that's how I would position it.
Sexy psychological drama.
Indeed.
Saran Jones did describe it as having a weird, sexy edge.
I've got the same thing. It doesn't seem to work for me.
You can get cream for that, Luke. Don't worry.
So 2 years on from the events of Series 1, we have Saran Jones' Gemma Foster living a sort of quite a happy life. You know, she's back at her surgery. Her and her son Tom seems to be getting on fine. They get an invitation, or Tom gets an invitation that horrible former husband...
Well, everyone gets one.
Everyone gets an invitation. Simon, the ex-husband, played by Bertie Carvel, is moving back to Parminster. Everyone's invited to his sort of housewarming / wedding party to Jodie Comer's Kate. And fair to say, Gemma isn't too happy, which is essentially...
That's a nice short review. You know, you could stick that on a movie poster.
She gate crashes the party with a date that turns out to be her son Tom's teacher. Doesn't insult anyone, but she has a sort of very heated conversation with Simon in the bedroom. And then at the end, Simon reveals his dastardly plan is to oust her from Parminster, make her move away so he can be happy with his new wife and his children. Luke, I want to go to you first because you had an interesting relationship with this. Liking it one week, not liking it the next week, and being very unsure about whether it should come back. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
I thought it was very, very engaging. It's completely bonkers. It knows it's completely bonkers. It revels in it. And Saran Jones is as convincing as someone can be. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. The hour flew by. There were bits of it I wasn't that keen on. Particularly the scene you mentioned in the bedroom rolled on a bit too long and was a bit cliched. I didn't enjoy that too much. But the rest of it was really enjoyable. Some of the acting's a bit dodgy and some of Saran's dialogue is a bit dodgy as well. But on the whole, it's an enjoyable escapist hour of drama that I enjoyed far more than I was expecting to enjoy.
I also really enjoyed it. I think I agree with Luke that it was a lot more engaging than I kind of thought that it would be. I do think they reintroduced this guy as a really evil person.
Well, yeah,
I think they want.
I didn't remember him being evil last time, particularly.
Well, don't forget. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you know, whatever happened in Series 1, he was the one that was having an affair. Yeah. I know there was lots of things going on, but he did have an affair, and he did hit her. You know, which did come back into this storyline, didn't it?
He's not so
well, that's right. You know, yeah. I think he was trying to kill her, wasn't he? I mean, that's, you know, at least. But there does appear to be a bit of role reversal. There are some people out there that I'm sure will now have a little bit of less liking of her. She's not a totally likable character.
I never thought she was in the first series, particularly.
I think I get where Gary's coming from to an extent, because I think in the first series we empathised with her because we were finding out with her that Simon was having an affair and finding out, you know, how long it'd been going on for, who knew about it. So it was like that discovery. We were with her in that, and we empathised because all these secrets came out, like he sort of, you know, bankrupt her and hadn't told her and stuff. So I think that's where the sympathy came from. And I can agree with you to an extent now because she's like on the revenge mission now. So we're sort of seeing her. We're still meant to have that empathy, like, well, he's done all this stuff and he hasn't properly been punished. And now everyone's going round to his house for a big party like nothing happened 2 years ago. And she essentially now is going to try and kill him because you got that line, the only way to get rid of me now is in a coffin. So that was fun. Yeah. And also we've got Sean Brooke, who seems to be in everything this year, turning up as the new colleague Sean, who's quite abrasive at the...
I didn't understand what that plot was about, but then I remember that there was a lot in Series 1 about the practice, because wasn't there a doctor she fired, wasn't there?
Robert Pugh.
Yeah, you loved him.
You loved
Robert
that's
what I'm saying. I liked that. This one, I'm kind of like confused at the moment, but I'm sure it will come out in the later episodes.
She didn't bring her bloody violin. That's all I was worried about.
She's Sherlock's sister. But one thing, I would say is that they use those scenes to sort of pad out, you know, like almost like comic relief to an extent. Yeah. One other thing as well is, what do we think to Jodie Comer in this? I'm almost sort of on her side in that you know, sure, she was the other woman, but now these people seem to be more interested in getting one up on one another. And
I get the impression that she's going to end up worse out of all of this, because she's going to end up being in the middle of whatever goes on.